What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a game called Battle of Polytopia. It's one of those games, I recorded a video for this a couple months ago, and I just never got around to getting it uploaded. And so what I like to do is, if something sits on the hard drive for long enough, I like to go and just re-record it. Because, like, if I upload that video, it's going to be out of date. You know, people are going to be like, man, that version number is kind of old. And so, like, we're making a new one here today. If you've never seen this game before, it's a very lightweight, rapid-fire, grand strategy game. So if you ever wish that games like, you ever wish that there was, like, a streamlined version of Civ, for example, or like, you know, a streamlined version of any of the Civ-type games, Polytopia is it. This is a game that's meant to be played very rapidly. Did I remember to turn the ambience back on? I was fiddling with things. Anyways, it's a game that's meant to be played very, very rapidly. It gives up a great deal of the depth that you would find in other grand strategy titles in order to be rapidly playable and deployable. Like, you can knock out a game of this game in probably about 45 minutes pretty quickly, and it's got a lot of different factions. They all have different abilities and different technologies they start out with. This is not going to be a game that you're going to dump like hundreds of hours into, and honestly, I didn't really get the point of it when I first started playing it either, but after I played a couple rounds of it, it started to click, and I started to sort of like get it, and I was just like, oh, so this is kind of like a really good entry point for grand strategy games for someone who's younger, who's like never played a grand strategy game before. So anyways, we'll start a new game. Let's see here. We can go with a 30-turn game. We can go with domination, which means we kill everybody on the map. We can play over. We'll go domination. Domination sounds good. There's a number of factions here. We have the Jinji. Apparently they start with climbing, which means they can go up mountains. We have the Imperious. I guess they start with organization. We have the Bardur. The Bardur are apparently hunters that they start out with. The Omaji start out with riding, which is pretty cool. Lets them get around a little bit faster. The Kiku, they start out with fishing. We have the Hoodrick. They start out with archery, which is actually really, really strong. Archery is pretty good. We have the Luxador. Apparently, they start out with a huge walled capital. Very cool. The Vengir. Apparently, the Vengir start with smithery and swordsman. That's pretty badass. We have the Zabasi. They start out with farming. We have the Imo, who apparently start out with meditation. I have no idea what that does. And then we also have the Quetzali. They start out with shields. And then we have the Yadak, who start out with roads. I figure we'll go with let's start with the Vengir, because they've got swordsmen. So, like, swordsmen are really, really good. We'll have, like, 4 opponents on the map. That sounds good to me. Does it expand the size of the map at all? Oh, so it's going to be, like, kind of crowded if we go with, like, 4 opponents. Okay. I dig it. Let's go. I'm up for a challenge. Let's try it on out. So here we are. You have been chosen to rule the Vengir tribe. Explore the world and expand your empire, but watch out for other tribes. Your objective is to wipe all the other tribes from the face of the square. There can be only one. So we've started out in this little area. As you can see, is we've got our first swordsman. He can kind of like move around and scout if he wants to. On this side, there's a ruin, so we can go and grab that. There's a ruin over there. They work exactly the same way that they do in Civilization games. You go over there and you'll get like a technology, or you'll get like a bonus to your score, or you'll get like a unit or something like that that's going to give you a little bit more of an advantage. Stars are the principal. So instead of having like hammers and luxuries and all that kind of stuff like Civ does, this game reduces everything that you own down to stars. So you don't produce production, you produce stars. You don't produce luxuries. If you have like coconuts on a tile, the coconuts are automatically converted into stars. And it's just like a currency that you use to buy units, to build buildings, to buy technology. Everything costs and everything generates stars. And that's all that you really have to worry about. Nemesis would love this game. Or maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. We can produce over here if we wanted to. I would suggest making a warrior who can scout around, and we can send them out in a different direction. We're going to want to, like, steal as many ruins as we can at the start of the game here. There's not going to be a lot we can do to grow this location, unfortunately. It's a bit of a bummer. We've got kind of a bad tile here. We can go to our tech tree, though, and we can take a look around. We can get harvest fruit, but it needs to be on a tile with fruit. We can go with climbing. We can go with fishing. I don't think we have any of that available. Oh, we do have some fishing. Fishing might work, so we'll probably want to look into fishing first. But we've got a really bad tile to start out on. We're going to want to make a colony that will replace this tile as soon as possible. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. So we're on the ruins right now. We've got the village over there. We will go ahead and we've got 7 stars. Okay, let's buy fishing. Fishing is pretty much our only hope for right now. And then for 2 stars, we can make a fishery, and that'll give us 1 population, which fills in one of these little pips down here. So we'll have enough to grow at least once, and hopefully make my borders larger so that we can capitalize on these forests over here. But I don't know. We're in bad shape right now. We got a very, very rough starting area. Looks like we've got some hunting down there. We've also got a village we can capture, which is great. I would suggest that you examine those ruins. And so we got a nomadic tribe that has settled in our... Hey, free population! That might actually save us. R2 upgraded to level 2, and its production was increased by +1. We also get to pick an additional reward. Okay, so we get 3 stars per turn now. We can bump that up to 4 stars per turn, or we can get an explorer. What an explorer does is it's just this little automated guy that runs around for like a turn, and he uncovers a whole bunch of the map. So let's do that, because that'll give us a little bit of a goal as to where we want to go. And in fact, our enemy is like right there next to us. No good. No good at all. Okay, well, we've got a swordsman over here guarding our territory. We have enough stars. We can buy another fishery right there, which I do think is a really wise idea. We will put... Let's go with resources. That'll give us a bunch of extra stars so that maybe we can move down the tech tree a little bit further. We could get whaling. We're probably going to need climbing so that we can go over mountains. That'll get us to mining as well so that we can capitalize on these mountains right here. I'm not going to hold my breath. Oh, the city's being captured. Very nice. We need another city, so I would suggest that we do that about as soon as we possibly can. You meet the Imperious. Their leader is hostile and greets you suspiciously. We might be able to knock them off the map right now. I don't know how strong their little warriors are, but I'm pretty sure my swordsman is tougher. Like, I don't know on a hundreds, but, like, let's get another fishery over here. There we go. We don't have boats, so we can't get access to that ruin just yet, unfortunately. Over here, we have captured that village, so that is now our village, the village of Hetu. If we can get hunting over here, we can actually hunt whatever those creatures are, and if we can expand our land, we can actually get access to these 2 mountains as well. I'm going to leave him over here as a guard. We'll go ahead and we'll pick up another clubber, and we'll send him down this way to capture that place. Yeah, because we definitely don't want... You meet the Hoodrick. Yeah, we don't want this guy to capture that little village right there. We really sincerely don't. So let's go ahead and we'll show a little bit of hostility right here. And we'll kind of like fight along our borders. I don't know if this is going to work out or if this is going to get us buried long term. But I do think it's a good idea that we be kind of aggressive with these guys. Give me another swordsman here. Yeah, he's going to try and capture that village right there, and I don't like that. I want that village. That village is my village. I claim it for myself. Send the swordsman down and over here to help out with them. One thing I do like about crowded maps is that you have, like, early game contact, which is good. Early game contact is fantastic because then you have, like, these weird little battles and scrums at the beginning of the game. I'm going to leave them right there to capture that village. This guy over here can produce for me. Let's go to the tech tree, and we will get hunting. Perfect. We have hunting now. Take that back. We're going to claim that right there. That'll give us 1 population for Hetu. We can also get a mine right here, but we need 5 stars in order to do it. So we'll just wait a minute. We could push into their territory right here. It is an option. They do have a lot of guys, though, so, you know, it could get a little bit ugly over here. Oh, they're still going to fire at me from their city. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let's keep fighting over here. Oh, he's fighting from inside a cover. Good to know. He's being shot at. I'm going to have him capture this place. We now have a city, but we don't have archery, so they're going to be able to, like, harangue and harass us a little bit, which is going to be a tiny bit terrifying. Let's get to... Oh, I need mining for that first. Okay, next turn we'll get mining. I thought we got it with the mountains, but we did not. Instead, give me a clubber right here, and I'm going to have to push up on these guys and maybe take Leyden. Like, I don't know for sure, but they are definitely pushing up on us right now and being pretty hostile. So in order to protect our territory, I think we're going to have to wipe them out and capture that little village right there and take it. They killed off my boy right there. They done slew him, which is unfortunate. We have 11 stars. Let's go ahead and get mining so that we can keep our population growing. There it is. All right, so take over the city. Don't let them spawn a new guy. That's your city now. You attack him. He can fire back if he wants. It's not really going to help, and we'll take over that city too. And it looks like we got 2 really fantastic choke points, and this is a really fertile city right here, so we should be able to turn Leyden into our capital because R2 is kind of a non-starter in that situation. Yeah, go ahead and give me that right there. That looks good. Give me another explorer too. Oh, you went the wrong direction. What a waste. Oh, dude, why would you do that? Oh no. Weak, dude. Okay. I'm disappointed. He should have gone this way. I do wish the explorers were a little bit smarter with their AI. They did not prioritize going in areas that are already, like, explored. They should push out in other areas. That city, basically, I should have taken the production bonus. That's going to cost us, in all honesty. I definitely should have taken it. With 5 stars, we can produce another mine pretty soon. Oh, they're shooting at me again. Lovely. Yeah, see if you can track down that archer down here. Capture Leyden. And Hoodrick has been destroyed, so all of their units are removed from the battlefield. One thing I would like to see is that when you finish off a faction... Oh, cool, the Imperious are gone too. All right, well, there's probably going to be one survivor of the 2 factions down here, and once they survive, it's probably just going to be a big throwdown between us and them. Rotu will get that right there. I don't know who's going to get that. It looks like Rotu is going to get that bonus right there. Let's go ahead and take the workshop this time around. I learned my lesson the hard way last time. I don't really want to... Let's make this all... I can harvest fruit, apparently, but I need it on the tech tree. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to the tech tree, and I will take harvesting fruit. Yeah, absolutely. Anything that keeps these places growing, I am a fan of. So we'll grab that right there. And it looks like Leyden has leveled up. We'll send out an explorer to see if we can find anything down that way. Another village, so I know 2 more villages. So I know what my priority is. We're going to push out and grab these villages right here. I will harvest fruit right there. We can't harvest that fruit. However, we can put a mine right there. We're going to need wood chopping. That's going to make Leyden really, really, really strong. It'll also give us some opportunities over here where we can make some farms, possibly. Or we can make a forge so that we can produce swordsmen, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, you recover and get some HP back, I guess. Actually, all of you do that. If you're beat up, yeah, all of you get some HP back. I don't see any reason to have, like, wasted troops over here if we don't have to. And then I'm going to build a mine right there. That'll get Leyden going. So Leyden is our first... No, it's not our first level 3 city, but we will put a wall right there because this is going to be a point of contact. It's going to give our guys that are fighting from inside the city, it's going to give them effectively a bonus. I'm going to put a forge right there. Oh, that is a good spot for a forge, isn't it? Okay, let's do it. We'll go with resources right there. Take some extra stars. Why not? A little double forge action right there. We could probably get away with putting a forge right there, too, because it'll increase our production. It's probably doable. Those are both farms right there. I do love, like, this game does a really good job with the UI. There's these little not-so-noticeable things that help the game play a little bit smoother. So, like, if I click on this forest right here, all the stuff that I build on that forest will benefit the city that jiggles. And so, like, when you see the city, that like, its dominion is whatever jiggles when you click on that area, and that's really, really helpful for figuring out where you want to build stuff. It's a little detail, but it's one that's much appreciated. It shows that the developer definitely has, like, an eye for game design. We'll throw that in right there. Yeah! Ropomus has apparently gotten larger. Ropomus Dopomus. All right, we'll put that in right there. We got 17 stars coming in a turn right now, which is pretty filthy. We'll go ahead and build another mine right there. There was a horse on that side, but I guess he gone now. I guess he gone. I was going to take that right there and do something with it, but on our tech tree, I don't know if I want farming. I would like to be able to chop down trees. Forestry would be nice. I think it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and we'll do forestry, because we do have some forests around that I think can be capitalized on pretty aggressively in some of these lower areas. Push on out there. Go get me those 2 cities before I forget about it. You go scout. Sure, why not? We get points for scouting. It's a good idea. Go ahead and capture that village. Go ahead and capture that village. Oh, good. There's hunting around that one, too. I think we're in a really strong position to push up on the enemy right now. I think this is going to get pretty revolting once we eventually make contact with them. I do think it's a good idea that we start making war forces and we start getting ready for, like, the inevitable contact that we're going to be making. So give me, like, a wave of soldiers. All 3 of these guys are going to push down south and just kind of push to this bottom left corner and go around and see what happens. He's going to stand guard over here. Just kind of keep an eye on what's around. I don't think the AI is really going after villages right now. Just kind of a bummer. All right, so you guys capture that village. Yep. And then capture that village right there. Whole bunch of points. Some extra stars to go around, too. I'm going to continue developing little areas around here. We can clear the forest. We can put in a lumber hut. I'm going to put in the lumber hut. Just because I think it's a good idea. That's under your dominion right there. All right, lumber hut. What happens if I clear the forest? It gives you 2 stars and turns it into a field. That sounds pretty good. Let's clear both of those. We'll put you in right there. So we got a couple of lumber hunts rocking. We can go hunting right there, which would be great. That'll give some population to artists. We'll harvest the fruit right there. That'll take that up to level 2. We just got stars for days right now. I'll give that a workshop. Get some fishing. Get some hunting for sure. We'll go... So we'll clear that field. We'll clear that field. We'll put a lumber hut right there. Nice. We'll put a city wall on it because you never know. I probably could have just taken the resources, but hey, what do I look like? A guy that makes good decisions. We'll harvest that right there. We'll harvest that right there to get our upgrades going. We just have like a flurry of activity right now. Wow, that is... We've got a really, really strong position on the map. We lucked out getting a corner over here. Like, if we had started in any of these other areas, we had to push through hostile forces just in order to make it. That's kind of, like, shocking. We're doing pretty good now, though. Nothing to worry about. All of you guys start, since we can't go that other direction, all of you guys start pushing out this way. I think we are going to have to get sailing so that we can land on foreign shores, kind of D-Day style, and attack these guys over here, because there's no guarantee that there's not going to be water blocking us off on that side. In the early game, water blocking us off right here is a good thing, because it allows us to kill everybody on this island and consolidate our power and take over every single resource, but it makes attacking the enemy a lot more complicated, so... You know, one step at a time. I think I've moved all of the soldiers that I can move for right now. I'm going to let our stars build up for a little bit. We'll figure out what we want to do with these stars. We have a lot of fields over on this side. I think it's a good thing to go and get farming out of the tech tree for right now. And so there's our farming. We should be able to get this place to grow up pretty good if we just farm the hell out of this area. I'll take the city wall. Why not? Let's make it as obnoxious as possible to eliminate us. I would like to clear that right there, and then eventually we'll be able to put a granary right there, which will increase the output of both of these. I'll probably do something similar with these 3 tiles if we can expand the borders. But for right now, I don't think that's going to be an option. We can put a forge right there. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I did that wrong. I thought it converted, when we chopped down a forest, I thought it converted it into a farmable field. It does not. It just makes it into an unfarmable field. Feels bad. Okay. Go get that village right there. Got nothing else going on right now. I can't go a tech tree. Let's go next turn. I'm going to gather these guys up kind of like on the edges over here and get them ready. You kind of come down this way and go get that village. You guys all gather along this seafront right here. Go over there to be backup. All right, so with 4 left, I can... make a lumber hut right there, which is easy enough. Another lumber hut right there. So that's a level 5 area. Let's go ahead and give it border growth so that it can grab some of these fish tiles down here, and it should get access to some of these. I still don't know if he's going to have enough to become, like, super rad or not. Like, I'm doing a head count right now, and I don't think we're going to have enough. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have enough. Well, we might with these trees over here. If we really, really dedicate ourselves, we might be able to take that guy up to level 6. And a level 6 city is a big deal. Like, you kind of want to have a level 6 city. A level 6 city matters. If I could expand his borders just a little bit, we'd have access to all kinds of stuff we didn't have access to before. You want me to clear that forest down there? Why? The little, if you see like the little bubble with the heart above it, it's that the game is recommending I do something on that tile. But a lot of the time, like, I'm not super sure why it would want me to do that thing. We'll go to our tech tree. Let's go sailing, because we definitely need to make ports and things, considering we all are surrounded by water. You come down this way. I will push you down this way. We're going to kind of like invade this little tip right here and just kind of land and see what happens. He's moving down that way to go get that village, which I think is actually going to be pretty prosperous until it isn't. Oh, I didn't pick up that village right there either. Okay, I'll have him do it. You keep moving down this way. That sounds all right. Let's work on Ropimus Dopimus over here. For 10 stars, we can build a port. I think it's a better idea for us to get all of our population rocking. We can make trade lanes and stuff in case you were wondering how that works. You continue off to the south right there. We're not hearing a whole lot from the enemy right now, which is sort of worrying me. I am going to put a port right there. The port will allow us to convert our units that step on it into a boat, and then like we can land in other areas. If we build another port over here too, and like down here we can make trade routes that increase the amount of stars we generate per turn. So that's pretty cool, and definitely something that I would recommend to you to do. I'm just going to gather these guys up over here for when I inevitably make another port. There we go. And so now we got a trade lane on that side. I'll probably do another one right over there as well, but for right now, let's just get boats and we'll start scouting this area and getting people seabound. Move him down that way. I could do a port over here, too, to get the 2 population for right there that we're looking for in order to get the border expansion so we can claim all that area. So as you can see, like, it seems like a really simple game, but it actually is a game that requires a little bit of consideration, but not so much that you get overwhelmed like with some other games. Like, it's definitely meant to be kind of a beer and pretzels game that you play quickly. Let's see here. The Bardoer, he's shooting me with archers. Fantastic. Yeah, go ahead and attack somebody. I don't think that Nact is going to hold. We'll make another swordsman over here. And I think we should probably grow Nact a little tiny bit. Don't do that. Harvest the fish first. Give me an explorer. Hopefully he goes the right way. He did indeed go the right way. So yeah, they've got a pretty nasty little empire over here that we're going to be bumping our elbows against. Let's go ahead and spin up our war machine and just kind of see what we can produce and what we can throw at them. We do have room for a farm field right there, and I would suggest that we take that farm field. Definitely put a city wall around that thing. It's going to need it. We still don't even have archery, so we should probably work on that too. Archery is kind of a foundational thing that you definitely need in order to have a successful society in this game. Give me... Yeah, let's take that up to level 6 too. So we can get a super unit or we can get a park. One thing that I do think is a bummer about this game is that it doesn't give you a little pop-up blurb when you mouse over this. I would highly recommend that it do so because, like, if you're going to be playing this game for an extended amount of time and sort of enjoying yourself, like, you're going to have to play one kind of gimme game where you don't know what these options do. Park, I think, makes an entire area, like, happier or something like that. Like, it increases the production. I don't remember. The park is basically a super building, and I don't recall what it does. The super unit gives you a literal kind of Philistine giant that you can send at the enemy who has, like, 40 HP and is just, like, fee-fi-fo-fum and stomps all over him. So we'll go with the super unit for right now. We can also do a Park of Fortune, which is a good idea. It's worth 400 points, and we get 3 populations, so I would recommend that you do it around whatever area you think is going to be your capital. That's just my recommendation. There it is. And so we need 2 more population in order to make this work. We don't really have a port over there, so I'll probably do that in order to get the extra 2. I didn't move a lot of my units. Unfortunately, I'm bad at doing my job properly. Go ahead and attack him and take his space. You step up, and let's get started. You start producing swordsmen. We do have our super unit, but it's going to take him a little while to get over here. You guys start moving this way. You continue being my little Marco Polo adventurers over here and just sort of scouting the world. Oh, really? These boats can't go into the ocean. Interesting. Well, we found purple. Purple's definitely over there. Capture that village, although I don't think that this village is ever going to be particularly valuable to us. I think we're going to have to hit them from multiple directions, in all honesty. Although it's going to depend if we've got a sea lane down here that we can actually access. Let's get 2 more population for, like, our main city right here. Nice. Give me another super unit, and that'll do for right now. These 2 super units, I think, should be able to bust a hole in this faction and kind of make a little divot in them and let us take their stuff. You've still got to move? All right, well, you go down to there then. We do have some farm fields we could put up over here. I do suggest that we do that. That's 2 more right there, and then if we can afford a port right there, it'll work out and it'll level that place up. I don't really want to make a new unit on that side. I don't think it's important. Yeah, it's going to get a little rowdy over here for a minute until the super units arrive. Go ahead and get the archer for me. Go ahead and mess with that guy. We'll kind of just skirmish for a little bit. There we go. We should have them outproduced, and that should be all that matters. What does that do? We get a mountain temple, pacifist, something else. We can get whaling. I don't know if oh, we'll get archery first. Archery's nice. Let's get archery. Archery allows us to attack from range, which is always cool because the enemy don't get a retaliation. We should be able to take over Rortgru pretty soon, I think. Yeah, he's wiped out. Keep attacking over here. Chances are he's going to keep producing units right there just to make it more difficult for me to get a foothold. Just to be obnoxious. Just to be a dick. You know what I mean? The question that I don't recall is if I think I need a port in order for these boats to be able to dock and unconvert too. I don't recall very well. We still have a unit over here. Yeah, give me my first archer. Why not? Archers are good. I like archers. And this is where it's starting to become like the nitty-gritty throwdown. I could probably turn this entire thing into ports if I needed to in order to level that place up again. I don't know if I want to, though. I'll put a port over here, I guess. There you go. R2 got a little bit bigger. Give me border growth, please. That's what I would like to see. Get a little bit of population, a little bit of that, little bit of that, and now it's up to level 6. Yeah, I'll take a park. Put the park wherever you want to put the park. Alright, so with 33 stars per turn, we're in pretty good shape. Like we are not doing bad. In fact, I would argue that we're doing quite good. They don't have a port for us to land in, though, so I think most of our attack force is going to have to come from this side. I don't see anybody else that's movable. It doesn't look like these two are that interested in fighting with each other. Oh, cool. We met the Luxador. Don't mind me. I'm just stacking stars right now. 0 damage, huh? Alright, we'll keep the big guys moving. There we go. Yep, just keep shooting. He's got 3 HP left right there. Wow, they have a lot of units, but none of their units are really upgraded units, so I think we'll be okay. Oh, he can land wherever he wants. Very nice. Okay, well, you come land over here where the Luxador are at. I don't really care if you die. That's my main problem right now, is that, like, I'm sort of fine if you don't make it. Like, it doesn't drive me up a wall. We can capture this, which I think is probably a good idea because this area seems kind of fertile. We'll go ahead and pick up all the resources. Don't need an explorer, so we can dedicate that entire location to effectively just being production. 2 more population right there. This might actually turn into a pretty good capital down here. Yeah. In one turn, we definitely made this place prosperous. This actually turned out to be a better come up than I expected. This place is pretty good. I don't know how much more we're going to have, like, left, but we can put a port right there, which is, like, great. And then we can put a mine right there, which is another 2. That thing went from level 1 to level 6, like, overnight. I guess I'll get a park. It's just a free population growth, and it might get us to the next little bit. Because we're going to put a port over on this side. That'll be 2, and then those 3 right there will take it up to level 7. Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan. Everybody's been moved over here. Really, we're going to start moving the line of scrimmage once our super units get there. They've got a pretty good battle force down here, but the super units are just, like, disgusting. A gate of power. This epic monument will bring wealth and glory to the nearest city. Nice. I want to build a gate of power. That sounds hella rad. Oof, they're still building, huh? They're still doing what they... Ooh. Yeah, capture the village. I totally forgot that I landed on top of that. I'm going to strongly suggest that we get our super units down here about as soon as we can. I don't know if I want to keep producing. I probably will. It takes so long to get units down here, though. Alright, so we got that. We'll go and we'll hunt that real fast so that we can build this up. And then we'll get a lumber hut right there. Alright, give me... Yeah, I just want the production. We already have the lumber hut over there, so it's not really that crazy. And we can get some fishing down here, which I think is a good idea. Another port, just to kind of consolidate our trading empire. We're killing it right now. We're looking pretty good. I don't really have any complaints. We should probably go for the tech tree, but that's it. This is Battle for Polytopia. Hope you guys liked it. It's a very, very lightweight little game, but it is a game that I found by my first game of it, I didn't get it at all, and I was just like, it's kind of too lightweight for me. But then I gave it another shot and played it for another hour or two, and I was like, actually, I kind of enjoy this. Like, it's effectively a decent strategy game with a light smattering of kind of like colony culture building like Civ. And it ends up being pretty fun. Like, yeah, mostly you're just throwing waves of units at each other. But it's got some thought in there, especially in the early and mid game. Get the game down below. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block was Battle for Polytopia. I hope you guys are having a good afternoon. Check out the Discord, check out the Twitch, and that's all I got. Goodbye, everyone.